Thank you very much for joining me here on Fooding Around New England, our Cape Cod edition. We happen to be at All Cape Appliances here on Route 28 in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts, Cape Cod. And being on Cape Cod, we had to go farming around. And I have a dear friend who I've been at the farmers markets talking to her so many times and said, I want you on the show. From E&T Farms in West Barnstable, Massachusetts. Betty Osborne, how are you?
Very good.
It looks
Thank you for having me.
I'm always being around your booth. That's the first one I hover to every time I go to the farmer's market, because it's always something new, or maybe you have a new crop of honey, which I always have. I should get, if I have the large one, you do sell them in quarts, right?
Yes, it's a 5-pound jug, actually.
A 5-pound jug of honey.
Yes.
Cultivated here?
Yes, on the Cape.
Right on the Cape. How long have you been farming? I mean, there's not only just honeybees, but there's other aspects to what you do at E&T Farms.
The beekeeping, my husband started more than 20 years ago, mainly as pollination for our vegetable garden. And we always had a home garden. And then our aquaponics farm we started about 8 years ago.
Oh, okay. 8 years. It must have taken a trial and tribulations of many, many hoops and loops and
a lot of permitting and
yeah.
then the design and the building.
Yeah. And you're located right off of 149, which is off of Route 6, and 85 Lombard Avenue?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Which is right near the community center there?
Correct.
Is it right there?
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my first visit there, able to find it very easily, just with all the landmarks, of course. The farming, of course, of aquaponic farming is quite different than Mother Earth.
Yes, it is. It's more of a controlled environment farming, which is to our benefit.
And how many acres do you have?
We have about 5.5 acres
on the farm.
Yes.
And the building where you keep all of your growing your lettuce and your greens, that's constantly maintenance.
Yes, it's year-round, 7 days a week. Keeps us very busy.
And of course the carp and the what do you call it, the large?
Yeah, we have ornamental koi that we import fingerlings from Malaysia.
Oh, okay.
And then we grow them out to full size. We have butterfly koi. They'll get
big.
Yes.
Yeah, and I notice you have a netting over the tanks.
Yes.
There's got to be a reason for that.
So they don't jump out.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially at feeding time.
Yes, they really go into a feeding frenzy.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. But that keeps the nutrients going through the water, through the piping. And I mean, and I'll talk to Ed about not just the pellets, but you had to go to Gloucester the other day to get what did you buy?
We went to Gloucester to get some crab shell powder because we're also experimenting with growing freshwater prawns in the fish barn. And they were lacking that one nutrient in their diet.
Okay, and everything's natural.
Yes,
not only just
100% natural.
We won't use the word organic, but as much as natural as you can be.
Correct.
And even your pesticides, you don't even use any of those.
No, we're not able to.
I saw a box of ladybugs.
Yes.
How many ladybugs were in that box?
That was about a quart.
A quart of ladybugs?
Yes.
And you didn't count them, I'm sure.
We don't count them, but...
Yeah, and what do you have the ladybugs there for?
They're there for our insect control, where we cannot use any type of pesticide or fungicide. We use ladybugs. We use beneficial insects. So we use ladybugs and lacewings.
Do you use hornets?
Not hornets.
No, okay. I don't know if they get whiteflies or something like that.
The ladybugs do very good with the aphids and whitefly. Yeah. Those are our two main problem insects in the greenhouse.
Well, maybe I should have a couple around the house, a couple of ladybugs.
Sure.
I always have them on my shoulder, I know that. Now, we've brought some greens. What kind of greens do we have here today?
The greens that we grow, it's a variety of lettuces, green leaf, red leaf. We also grow beet greens that we add to our salad mix. And this is baby rainbow Swiss chard.
Oh, I like that.
We grow a variety of microgreens. And we always usually add nasturtiums,
And
which are the flower.
And these can be found at the market,
Yes.
the farmers market.
At the
but they're
farmers'
also, but they're
markets.
also at the farm.
And we also always have it at the farm.
Oh, so fresh. And you sell them by the bag.
Yes.
Now, what if a restaurant would like to have, you know, something like this?
Yes, we have
5 pound
worked with
well,
some Cape restaurants.
Today, we're going to be preparing some of the dishes that I talked to you about. Of course, not that I use bee honey for anything else, but just tasting or my teas. I've cooked with curry and my honey, and I've baked chicken with it. I've done rice, sweet rice with my honey. Not my wife, my honey. And I mean, I use it for all kinds of things where sugar should be, but I'd rather have the honey.
Substitute
The
the honey.
nutrition for honey is far superior.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and it's good for you too. We're going to talk a little bit about nutrition, but we're also going to talk about how to mix and match various salad dressings, marinades, yeah, and
Yes.
let you be a honey too, right? I'll be back in 2 minutes and 2 tastes. Well, thank you very much for joining me back here on Fooding Around New England with your host, John Riga. And don't forget, by the way, you can get onto our website, foodingaround.com. You'll find out all about the channels we have. Maybe some honeybee recipes, you know, why not? At foodingaround.com, you'll get on there and discover, along with us, maybe some of the reasons why you should be eating more honey. And by the way, do you do mail order? I'm with Betty, by the way, Betty Osmond, who is the... I guess you'd call yourself a cultivator, a farmer,
A beekeeper.
a beekeeper.
A farmer.
Yeah. You can go on your
A worker
website.
bee.
A worker bee. A worker bee. I like that. Can people go on your website and purchase the honey?
Yes.
Okay, let's do some recipe making with honey, honey, honey. All right, you're going to start with?
The first is a honey vinaigrette. And you're going to... A
Start
good
with
trick for honey when you're measuring it is to spritz your measuring cup or bowl with a little bit of vegetable oil, and then the honey will flow out
And you'll
easily.
get exacting.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Didn't
So
know that.
there's just a
Well
helpful
learned.
little trick.
Yeah. How should I store my honey, by the way?
Always at room temperature.
Okay.
Do not refrigerate it.
In the jar that it comes
Yes.
in? Okay. So
Going to add a little bit of
balsamic.
balsamic vinegar.
Okay. It's starting to taste.
Always some nice, good olive oil.
Now this is a salad dressing for at least a half a quart.
Yes.
Possibly, as we get
This is a little bit of orange juice.
orange juice. Okay.
It's a very light dressing.
Uh-huh.
Goes nicely just with the greens. We also grow other vegetables. This is poppy seed.
Oh, okay. Now get into your teeth there.
And just
Now this
whisk
is
that
gonna
all
be perfect.
together.
And we keep it at room temperature.
Yes.
Because you want the flavor, especially the honey. You know, if you and don't you know people say, well, I keep it in the refrigerator, it'll last longer. But honey has its own.
Correct. Honey does not need to be
And you know
refrigerated.
it's not only just good in salad dressings, but you know for your health reasons,
Yes.
as a remedy for a lot of things.
And it's the only
Throat.
natural sweetener that contains vitamins, minerals, antioxidants,
And
and
this-
amino
this here-
acids.
I mean, it's a nice texture. I think the orange juice cuts it in the and it makes it
Yes.
nice and smooth and holds together well. Yeah. Now this you could store, in the refrigerator and keep.
Yep.
Not
and
that you'd use eye drops full. We pour over some nice.
pour
salad
it over
dressing,
the
and I'll have
greens.
the opportunity to do some tasting, I'm sure. At the farm, do you have tours, or do you have people that are just there?
We do tours by appointment. It's just my husband and I and one employee at the farm.
I like the
So
dressing. Yeah.
We do request that people make an appointment if they want a tour to make sure that we're there, because when we're out taking care of
Yeah.
the bees are living on a lot of small cranberry bogs from Falmouth to Harwich. So sometimes we're out taking care of the bees and we're not at the farm.
So between West Barnstable and Howard, you have your bees at
All of our colonies of
Right.
bees.
Uh-huh. And I guess it's quite. It has to get up early in the morning with the bees. Is it like feeding the chickens or anything?
No, they're pretty tolerant.
Yeah, they're tolerant. They can take care of themselves.
He has to get up and feed the fish.
To feed the fish, very important. Yeah, you wouldn't have all this. No, honey is usually used for cooking, for a remedy of sore throats and what have you. But some people use like honey bee wax on their face, their fingernails, salves that you can use.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many different ways that you can use honey and have yourself looking good. This is creamy honey.
Yes, it is.
Of course, this is to be edible. Can I put this on my face?
You could. There's nothing in it that would bother your
Yeah,
face.
just give myself
It would be very nourishing.
nourishing. Yeah, because I use honey wax or honeybee wax.
Yes.
On my fingernails, I use it for anytime I have a dry spot, or
Right.
even my hands, or
I make a lip balm and a hand cream that has the beeswax in
Yeah,
it.
and very nourishing, very protective too.
Yes.
I am sure.
And very healing.
Nothing like being protected by a honeybee anyway. And going back to the greens, if somebody, you couldn't order these by, you cannot order these by mail, no?
No, we have not shipped in the past.
Yeah, I
But
would imagine, no. But come by the farm.
not to say
That's
we couldn't.
Yeah. Now, must have a phone number.
yes, it's 508
Mm-hmm.
362
Okay.
8370.
Okay. We're going to do some more recipes, and
Okay.
I think, wait a minute, we're going to take a break, and I think, can I go out and see the bees?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me here on Fooding Around New England with your host, John Riga, and we are here today at All Cape Appliances, right on Route 28 in the lovely town of South Yarmouth, Cape Cod. And we are here today with Betty Osmond, who is the proprietor, the farmer, the beekeeper, the, controller of, with your husband, Ed, of course.
Yes.
You have such a great farm. Is it become taxing? I mean, 7 days a week is a lot of work to put into a.
It is
between
a lot of work.
The bee farming, the bee harvesting, or the harvesting of your lettuce, your greens. It's a lot. Must be a lot of work. But you must enjoy it.
But it's wonderful to do something that you truly, truly enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to do it together, which is nice.
That's perfect for it. On these farmers markets, it's an education. I'm sure you're thrown
Yes.
many questions about. I have allergies. Should I have the honey only in my territorial area where I was born and brought up? Is that all true? I mean,
It's definitely beneficial to have honey where you're living because the honeys are gathering the nectar and the pollen from the blossoms that you could be allergic to.
oh, okay.
So by ingesting small amounts of honey, it's similar to taking a natural allergy medication.
Can you
So it's
overdose
definitely
Can you overdose
helpful.
on that? I mean, if
I've never heard of anybody overdosing on honey.
Well, I have it on my cereal. I put it on my oatmeal. I might have my bread. I make pancakes with it. I'm doing rice. I take my green tea bags. I boil my rice with the green tea bags. I have dollops of honey in it and stir it. It becomes nice and sticky. So
Yes.
when I use my chopsticks, easy to eat my rice. I do a nice curry sauce with that, with the honey. So the combinations are just unwieldy.
They are.
Yeah.
Just about anything.
Now you have recipes at the store or at the farm that people can take away for honey. Do they have any on their website?
Not currently,
Okay.
but I'm going to be doing
Yeah,
that.
a few, because people have they have the norm, they have salad dressings, but there are other things that possibly somebody.
Right.
We've done some research, from time to time. we're going to prepare something here for greens. Yeah, I mean, for vegetables.
Yes, this is going to be a hot and sweet glaze. And today we're going to be putting it on
these are
broccoli and asparagus. That is cooked.
Oh, okay.
But it would also be excellent on sweet potatoes, carrots, really
Yeah.
just about any fresh veggie. So again, we'll start with the honey.
I like honey and pumpkin. I mean,
That would be
pumpkin
wonderful.
soup, a
Butternut
curry
squash
pumpkin
soup.
with dollops of honey. Okay, that's a dollop or two, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Now-
this is soy sauce.
Yeah. You know, speaking of soy sauce in the dark, light, honey, dark, light. What's the difference?
The lighter honey is usually produced earlier in the spring. The nectars that the bees are collecting are lighter in the spring than in the fall. This is a darker, so this would be more of a
This is
fall
more
honey.
fall honey.
So it would have a more robust flavor. The lighter honey, the flavor is lighter.
What about, you know, people who buy in the supermarket are always looking at grades. Are there any that they should watch out for?
Honey is not graded as like maple syrup is.
Oh, it isn't.
No,
No.
it's just
Okay.
every
That's okay.
honey is different, and it's
Just
really
curious.
dependent upon your taste.
That's my favorite. My mom
The
gets
little
me
honey
this.
bear.
Yeah, the honey bear.
This is some fresh ginger,
Oh yeah.
and to make it a little bit hot,
Now that's gonna
some
wait.
crushed red pepper.
Okay. Ginger, crushed red pepper. Okay. Whisk that around.
Just whisk that.
Yeah. Now, maybe, you know, I was thinking if with the crushed red peppers, maybe keep it overnight, room temperature, since there's.
Oh, that would be very
And then
nice.
that will melt, then put it on the vegetables. So maybe this is a do-ahead
Yes.
recipe? Yeah, okay. I like that. Oh, the ginger. Do you like ginger?
Yes, I do. I love fresh
She's-
ginger.
See, I told you, Betty, you had to come on the show. She likes all those nice. Now, this I'm going to toss, okay?
Yes.
And this also would be an ideal situation, too, is to let that sit overnight.
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you take that. And we're going to try some of these, okay? Can we try some of these, too? Toss it here and give it a toss. And again, if people would like to order online, shipping is UPS, right? And everything is, are those plastic bottles? There's glass, actually.
We have, when we do ship, we
Yeah.
usually ship in plastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Our glass jars are the 1 and 2 pound jars and the
but
8-ounce
that's it.
jars, but we also have them all in plastic.
And again, not overnight. I've got
Correct.
a honey rush. I need my honey tomorrow. Can you get it to me? No, I'm sure that doesn't happen. We're going to take a very short break. Come back, kind of not clean up, but start maybe with this small recipe here that you have. What is the ingredients that you're going to be preparing? Just tell me about it.
This is just a sauce that is really delicious on hamburgers, turkey burgers, sandwiches. It has a base of a little bit of mayonnaise and mustard, some chipotle pepper and adobo sauce, some chili sauce, and of course, the honey.
Well, honey, I'll be back in 2 minutes and 2 tastes. What is this bunny? This little honeybee is doing something. Welcome back, by the way.
She's doing the waggle dance.
The waggle dance. What? Now what is it? I'm reading back here. The honeybees do a dance which alerts other bees where the nectar and pollen is located. The dance explains directions and distance. Bees also communicate with what?
Pheromones.
Pheromones.
It's
Okay.
a scent.
A scent. But they do a little dance to tell other bees where.
Yes, the scout bees will go out early in the morning. They'll find the best
Yeah.
nectar of the day, and then they'll come back to the hive and they'll do their little dance. And it tells the other bees, the workers or the foragers, exactly how far away the nectar source is, in relationship to the location of the sun. That's how they
Okay.
communicate.
So if I see a little bee wiggling somewhere and going towards this, the nest,
She's getting ready to tell all her sisters where to work.
so if your honey's ever wiggling. Anyway, let's get to the bee. Let's get to this. This is a dressing, or this is going
Yes,
to be
just
glaze?
a spread
A
that you could
spread.
use.
Could I use that on chicken or?
Sure.
Yeah, you know,
Chicken,
overnight and
pork.
You said hamburger.
On
This would
your
be good
burgers,
on the bun,
yep.
Yep, on the burgers or veggie burger. This would spice up a veggie burger. You know,
Yes,
a mundane
very
one.
much
Anyway.
so.
All right, what are we going to do?
So
What do
there's
we-
just a little bit of mayonnaise
What's in there? I see something yellow.
and some mustard. Of
Mustard.
course, I use honey mustard,
Honey mustard. Okay.
of course. This is chipotle pepper and adobo sauce. You don't need much, at least I don't. It's very
According to taste.
right, according to
Okay.
taste. This is chili sauce.
Chili sauce. And we're going to cut all this with a little bit of the honey. Okay?
And-
E&T honey.
Honey.
Now, again, setting aside all of, this is a honey dressing or a honey spread. There's many books out there that people could actually buy that would give them substitutes for using honey for dressing. You know, if
Yes.
they see something, if they're doing baking, I guess they would have to use less liquid when they use honey instead of sugar.
Right. Generally speaking,
Yeah.
for each cup of
An extra
liquid,
cup?
you're going to
Yeah.
reduce the liquid by a quarter cup for each
Mm-hmm.
cup of honey.
Right.
And usually if you're making breads, you want
Breads,
to
yeah.
add
Honey bread.
a half teaspoon
Get
of
the texture on that.
baking soda.
Nice.
And then you're going to cut your oven temperature by 25 degrees.
Uh-huh.
And that will prevent it from over browning.
So if I wanted to use this on my chicken, to stir that up and let it sit
Yes.
overnight? Okay, we'll do that and maybe have the people here at All Cape Appliances rev up the stove and let that sit all night. Yeah, and have them cook it up in the morning. Huh? One of the reasons I had you here, Betty, too, is the fact that a lot of people don't understand the farmers markets. I mean, they are true farmers markets, not only just here in Cape Cod, but southeastern Massachusetts, all over, actually now all over the country. Even though I remember when I was a child in the 50s, we had farmers markets down in Faneuil Hall.
Yes.
We had fresh vegetables all the time, and of course the hurried mother and dad started to buy frozen, and unfortunately it hurt all the farmers. Now, do you see that surviving more and more here on the Cape? You see the
Oh,
people coming-
definitely. I think,
I mean, we have organic farms now that we never had before. Oakdale Farms up there in Rochester does a fine job.
Yes.
And I think you guys are all together too, because you had a dinner the other night. with all
yes,
the
we had a
farmers.
dinner at the Buy Fresh, Buy Local Cape Cod. It
How
was
was the
the
turnout?
annual meeting. It was very, very well attended.
And I think that's very important. And by the way, if you are interested in finding out about the farms, it is Buy Fresh
Buy Fresh, Buy Local Cape
Cape
Cod.
Cod. Buy Fresh,
dot
Buy
org.
Local, CapeCod.org.
Yes.
Okay, that's the website right there in front of the screen. And you'll see E&T Farms, you'll see other farms there, and people who actually produce here on Cape Cod. You know,
Yes.
produce, it might be a garlic salt, it might be a seasoning, it might be cookies, might be candy. And you can get onto our website and you can find all of this information we're talking about different farms and different food producers at tasteofcapecod.net. And you'll find out all about different people who are in the business to produce food. And guess what? Share it with the world.
There you
Done it
go.
with the honey. Yeah. Real Cape Cod honey. Thank you again, Betty. And
Well, thank you
E&T
very
Farms.
much.
Thank you, Ed, for giving her some time off. Again, your website is, and you don't have it on your packaging, huh? Okay, well, it has to be here. It says entfarmsinc.com, right there in the top, see?
Yes.
I have to take my glasses off to see that. And the phone number is 508-362-8370. And wiggle your honey. Thank you, Betty.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you on.
Thank you.
And, well, looks like I'm ready to be vegged out, huh? Thank you again for coming here at All Cape Appliances right on Route 28. That's 860 Route 28 in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts. And their website, by the way, is allcapemaytag.com. All American-made appliances here, right here on, well, on our land here, the United States of America, where you can get honey too. I'll be back, as always. Do everything in good taste.